Welcome to the course on emerging domain in electronics engineering. This is lecture 8. So, in this lecture we will see the voltage multiplier circuits. So, we have already seen what are clampers. So, we will be utilizing the concept of clampers for the voltage multiplier circuits. So, first of all, what are voltage multiplier circuits? So, voltage multiplier circuit, these are employed to maintain a relative low transformer peak voltage while stepping up the peak output voltage to 2 times, 3 times or 4 times or maybe more to the peak rectified voltage. So, a voltage multiplier, a peak to peak detector which uses small signal diode and operate at high frequencies, means with the help of this voltage multiplier circuits we can achieve 200 volt DC from a 100 volt peak AC source, and we can achieve 400 volt DC also from a 100 volt peak AC source, which is that kind of circuit is known as a quadrupler circuit. And here we have 2 times means 200 volt DC, right. This is somewhere referred as the doubler circuit, because the input is 100 volt and the output is nothing but it is doubled. So, the classification of voltage multiplier circuit is, we have the very first circuit which is known as the voltage doubler circuit. So, a voltage doubler circuit is a voltage multiplier circuit which has a multiplication factor of 2. Means here the output voltage is nothing but it is the multiplication factor of 2 with the input voltage. So, the circuit consists of 2 diodes, 2 capacitors and the AC input source or the AC input voltage, as we have already seen in the clampers also, that if we are utilizing a single capacitor, then we will be able to shift the signal either in the positive half or in the negative half. So, for this voltage doubler circuit, keep in mind that we need 2 diodes as well as 2 capacitors. So, this simple diode capacitor combination basically gives a DC output voltage equal to the peak to peak value of the sinusoidal input, or in the other words we can say that the double the peak voltage value, because the diodes and the capacitor work together to effectively double the voltage. So, here we have further classified these voltage doubler circuits as half wave voltage doubler and full wave voltage doubler. So, first of all we will have the half wave voltage doubler circuit. So, during this, means this is a half wave voltage doubler, means we have this transformer over here and we have 2 capacitors C1 C2, we have 2 diodes D1 and D2. So, here our aim is first to charge these capacitors. Once this capacitor will charge to the maximum value of input signal, after that they will be storing this particular voltage and they will be applying, these capacitors will basically provide voltage to the load. So, we can say that during the positive half cycle, means if this is plus Vm, something, if this kind of waveform we are applying, this is Vm and this is minus Vm. So, if we are choosing this particular cycle which is a positive half cycle, so we can say that this will try to flow current in this particular direction. Once this is the direction of current, so due to this the diode D1 will be on, or diode D1 will be conducting, and once this diode is conducting, that means we can say that this capacitor C1 will be charged to the maximum value which is Vm. How we can say this? We can say this because if we will apply KVL in this particular loop, then Vm equals to Vc, or if this is, let us say, Vc1, so this is Vc1, so Vc1 equals to Vm. So this capacitor C1 is charged to the maximum value which is Vm, and diode we are assuming these diodes are ideal, right. So if the diodes are ideal, we can treat this as short circuit during the forward bias, and we just say that if we are not connecting any resistance to the load here, then we can say that the capacitors will not discharge, right. So this is during the positive half cycle. Now what will happen during the negative half cycle? Now during the negative half cycle means if this is positive, so what will happen? It will try to flow current in this particular direction, right. So if current will flow in this particular direction, then this diode will be naturally off, and this diode is non-conducting, whereas the diode D2 is conducting because now the current is flowing in anti-clockwise direction, something like this. So we can say that if this voltage is Vc2, something like this, so we can apply KVL in this particular loop. So this KVL equation says that minus Vm minus Vc1 and plus Vc2 equal to 0. So if we will put the values for Vc1, which was Vm, we have already calculated in our last step, this one. So this Vc2 means the capacitor C2 will be charged to a maximum value which is double 2 times of Vm. So during the negative half cycle, the C2 will be charged 2 times of Vm. Now if we are connecting a load resistance, let us say RL, to these terminal, let us say this is A and this is B. So this capacitor basically C2 will provide a voltage to the load resistance RL, and that value will be nothing but it is equal to 2 times of Vm. So here we can see that the output voltage is doubled of the maximum voltage what we have applied. The maximum peak value was Vm, and we received the output voltage which is double 2 times. So it is this kind of circuit is known as voltage doubler, or particularly this circuit can be known as half wave voltage doubler. Now again we have the full wave voltage doubler. So the advantage of full wave voltage doubler circuit is it allows higher voltages to be created from a lower voltage power source without a need for an expensive high voltage transformer. This is important, means we are able to achieve a high voltage irrespective of the low value of transformer peak voltage. So as the voltage doubler circuits make it possible to use a transformer with a lower step up ratio that will be needed if an ordinary full wave supply were used. So for this full wave voltage doubler circuit, we have the circuit something like this. Again, since it is a voltage doubler, so we need 2 diodes and 2 capacitors, but their arrangement is something different from half wave. Now how can we proceed with the working of this full wave voltage doubler? So here we can start in this manner that during the positive half, first is during the positive half, means if we are applying something this kind of waveform, some sinusoidal waveform having a peak value of Vm, something like this. So this is positive, this is negative. So due to this diode D1 is forward bias, or we can say that diode D1 is conducting. Once this diode is conducting, and if this is positive, so naturally this diode D2 is off, or diode D2 is non-conducting, means this is open circuit, this will be open circuit. whereas this is nothing but short circuit. So, this capacitor C1 will be charged to the maximum value of the peak value of input. Since this peak value was Vm, so this Vc1, if you will say this is Vc1, so this is nothing but equals to Vm. Now keep in mind that during the first positive half cycle, this capacitor C2 will not charge. Capacitor C2 will be charged during the negative half cycle. This one means we have the polarity is reversed now, something like this. So if this is negative, so naturally this diode D1 is non-conducting, means open circuit, whereas this diode D2 is in now conducting stage and it can be treated as short circuit. So we can say that this capacitor will be charged through this particular loop. So this is Vc2, so which is nothing but equal to Vm. So both the capacitors are charged to the maximum value of AC signal applied, which is Vm. So if we will combine both the outputs from, means if we will use this circuit now, and we have seen that this value is Vm and this value is also Vm, and if we are attaching a resistor of RL, then this 2V, this voltage is equal to VL equals to Vc1 plus Vc2, which is equals to 2 times of Vm. We received double voltage, 2 times of Vm. So this is a full wave voltage doubler circuit. Now after this, in continuation with this voltage doubler circuit, we will have the voltage tripler circuit. Now as the name suggests, voltage tripler means the output voltage is nothing but the 3 times the maximum value of, means we can say that 3 times the peak value of input signal, where the peak value is given by Vm. So for this particular circuit, we need, for tripler we need 3 diodes as well as we need 3 capacitors. These are 3 diodes and we have these capacitors, something like this. Now we will see the working, how the circuit works. So if we are applying some voltage Vm at this particular input terminals, we can say that this diode D3 is conducting. Once the diode D3 is conducting, means D3 is short circuited, then this capacitor, this C3 will be charged to the maximum value. So because this current will flow in this particular direction, so Vc3 is nothing but Vm. After that let us say if we are assuming a negative cycle, means this one, then we can say that this will be, this terminal will become now positive and this terminal will become now negative, something like this. And if this is a scenario, then we can say that this diode D3 is non-conducting, D3 is off, and D1 is on, D1 is on, or D1 is in conducting state, means now the current will flow in this particular manner, something like this. So due to this, this capacitor C1 will be charged to a voltage of Vm. So Vc1 is equal to Vm. Vc1 equals to Vm. Next, in the next cycle, if we will say that means we can say that, sorry, this D3, when D3 was off, D1 was on. So, this voltage Vc1 was not Vm, it is 2 times of Vm, because we will apply KVL in this particular loop. So, this Vm is nothing but the input equals to minus of Vc3 plus Vc1, and Vc1 is equals to Vm plus Vc3, and we have already calculated what is Vc3. Vc3 was equal to Vm. So, this Vc1, that is nothing but 2 times of Vm. So, this capacitor was charged to 2 times of Vm. Now, during the positive half, what we can say that this D3 is on, D3 is on and D2 is on, and this C2, capacitor C2 will be charged, and we have the voltage Vc2 equals to 2 times of Vm, because this capacitor C1 will charge this particular capacitor C2 through this loop. And if we are calculating the output, means at this particular terminal, so this was Vm, this one was 2 times of Vm, positive this side, negative this side, similarly positive and negative. So, the effective voltage for this particular combination is what? 2 Vm plus Vm. 2 Vm plus Vm, this is nothing but 3 times of Vm. So, here we can clearly see that the output what we received from this tripler circuit is 3 times of the peak rectified input signal. So, this is the operation. We have already seen that first the capacitor C3 will charge, and after that this capacitor C3 will charge through the diode D3 to a maximum value of Vm. After that this capacitor C1 will be charged to a value of 2 times of Vm, and after that we can say in the next positive half cycle these diodes are conducting, and the voltage, this capacitor C2 will be charged to a maximum value of 2 times of Vm, and if we will combine the output, so we will have 3 times of Vm. So, from this last circuit we can clearly see that this half section is providing a voltage of Vm, whereas this full section is providing a voltage of 2 times of Vm, doubled. So, for every full section it is providing a voltage of 2 times of Vm. So, for a quadrupler circuit, means if we want a voltage to be 4 times to that of the peak rectified input signal, then we will be using 2 full sections. If we want that output is 5 times, so we need 2 full sections, whereas 1 half section. So, next is we have the voltage quadrupler. As the name suggests, quadrupler is 4 times. So, for if we want that output to be 4 times that of the peak rectified input voltage, then we need 4 capacitors and we need 4 diodes. So, we can clearly see we need these capacitors 2, this is 3 and this is 4. Similarly, we need 4 diodes also, this is D1, this is D2, this is D3 and this is D4. So, again we can see how this quadrupler circuit works. So, this is the equivalent representation for this. So, this circuit will be quite easy, and this will be definitely very helpful to illustrate the working of this voltage quadrupler circuit. So, we can say that if we are applying some sinusoidal input in this particular manner, having a peak value of Vm. So, it is clear that during the first positive half cycle, or what we can say, that this diode D1 will be on, D1 will be on during the first negative cycle. Means if we have positive at this particular terminal, so diode T1 will be on, and accordingly this capacitor can be charged. So, we can say that during negative half cycle, we have D1 on, D1 is on, and once this D1 is on, then this capacitor C1 is charged, which is Vc1 equals to whatever we have applied the input, Vc1 equals to Vm. Now, we can clearly see that during the positive half cycle, means if we are providing this terminal as positive, so it will make this diode D1 off, and once this diode D1 is off, then we can see that this diode D2 will be on, and once this diode D2 is on, so this is the path now, something like this, and we can say that the capacitor C2 will be charged with the help of input signal as well as the capacitor C1. So, we can say that D2 is on and D1 is off. So, we have Vm equals to, during positive half, this is the flow of current, equals to minus of Vc1, and we have plus Vc2. So, Vc2 comes out to be Vm plus Vc1. So, here we can say that Vc1 was nothing but Vm. So, if Vc1 is equals to Vm, then this capacitor C2 will be charged to a value of 2 times of Vm. As I have already told you that for a full wave section, this capacitor, basically this section will provide a voltage of 2 times of Vm. Now, we need to proceed further for capacitor C3 and capacitor C4. So, again we can say that during the negative half cycle, what will happen, this diode D1 is on, and diode D3 is on. So, D1 and D3 on, and naturally this diode D2 will be off. So, once this diode D2 is off, so now this capacitor C2 will be responsible for the charging of capacitor C3, and this capacitor C2 will charge this particular capacitor C3 in this particular direction. So, accordingly the polarity will be positive this side and negative this side. So, this capacitor voltage Vc3 equals to Vc2, and this Vc2 is equal to 2 times of Vm. So, this is also 2 times of Vm. Now, again during the next positive half cycle, what will happen? It is important that diode D2 and D4, diode D2 and D4 are on. So, it can be clear from this circuit that once this is a loop, so this capacitor C3 will charge this particular capacitor C4 to a maximum value of 2 times of Vm. How it can be charged? This, because if we will apply KVL in this particular loop, we can clearly see that Vc4 equals to Vc3, and Vc3 was 2 times of Vm. Vc3 was 2 times of Vm. So, means we can clearly see again that the second full section basically provide a output voltage of 2 times of Vm. So, if we will combine output from both the full sections, then we can say that the output is nothing but 2 Vm plus 2 Vm, which is nothing but 4 times of Vm. So, if we are measuring output at this particular terminal, something like this. So, this is also 2 Vm and this is also 2 Vm, means this output voltage V out is equal to Vc2 plus Vc4. So, Vc2 was, we have already calculated, Vc2 is 2 times of Vm, and also this Vc4 is 2 times of Vm. So, the overall voltage V0 is nothing but 4 times of Vm. So, we have seen from this particular circuit that output is nothing but 4 times the value of peak rectified input signal. So, if we have to design, let us say a circuit which provides 5 times of Vm. So, we need a combination of, we need 5 diodes as well as we need 5 capacitors. So, this was just the working, we can just go through this. First, we have seen that capacitor C1 will be charged through the diode D3 to a peak value of Vm, we have seen during the negative half cycle. After that, this capacitor C2 was charged to the twice the value of peak input voltage, which is now 2 times of Vm, and this is during the first positive half cycle. After that, during the negative half cycle, again further D1, D2 and D3 they conducts, and the voltage across capacitor C2 and the transformer secondary voltage that will charge this capacitor C3 to a voltage of 2 times of Vm, right. And last, during the next positive half cycle, this diode D2 and diode D4 conducts, and the voltage across the capacitor C2 charges the capacitor C4 to double 2 times of Vm. So, this is nothing but the voltage quadrupler circuit. Again, if we have diode D3, so C2 charges this capacitor C3 to a maximum value of 2 times of Vm, whereas during the next negative half cycle, again we can say this D2 and D4 conducts, and this capacitor, the voltage across the capacitor C2 is nothing but, previously we have calculated 2 times of Vm. So, this C1 and C3, it is nothing but, if we want a voltage, a combination of voltage across C1 and C3, so we can say that C1 was charged to a voltage of Vm, we have clearly seen this was Vm, right. This one was 2 times of Vm, sorry, this capacitor C4 was 2 times of Vm, right. So, if we will measure this particular voltage, so this is Vm and this is Vm, so this is 3 times. So, means this particular circuit can work as a tripler also, and if we are utilizing this capacitor C2 and C4, then we can achieve 4 times of the input rectified voltage, 4 times of Vm. So, this was a working of this voltage quadrupler circuit. Now, what are the application areas of voltage multipliers? So, first we have the cathode ray tube CRT in the oscilloscope. So, oscilloscope basically used to visualize the signals, means we can visualize the current and voltage signals. So, in that oscilloscope, CRO, cathode ray oscilloscope, we have a cathode ray tube fitted inside the oscilloscope, which requires a very high power, which requires a very high voltage. So, this high voltage is nothing but it is developed by the voltage multiplier, because the electron gun which is fitted inside the oscilloscope requires a, this cathode gun basically requires a high voltage for the emission of electrons, right. Similarly, for the trans television receivers also, in CRTs, computer displays, X-ray system also, again we need to generate, so again high voltage is applied, laser, ion pumps and photocopy machines, electrostatic systems, photomultiplier tubes, TWT, travelling wave tube. So, this is the part of microwave. So, these TWTs also require a high voltage to operate. So, several other devices are also utilizing these kind of circuits, which involves low current and high voltage application. Why it is called as low current? Because we have applied a signal which is having a maximum value of Vm only. So, it is a low current which involves low current, but the voltage is very high, because we are able to achieve 2 times of Vm, 3 times and 4 times of Vm. So, this is a application area for voltage multipliers. These are some references. Thank you.